All right. Make sure it's working right. Hello, YouTube world. What's up? Bienvenidos, willkommen. Hola. Let me see here. This is another night dive here with Jetthro, and I've got my friend Brandon Casper. Brandon, you want to say hello to the world?
Hello. I am the aforementioned Brendan Casper.
Nice, I love it. Um, okay, cool. Yeah, everything's rolling. We're good. So, this is day 17 of a 100-day challenge that I'm in, that I have put upon myself for doing these like nightly journals, documentation. Essentially just getting my brain out into a documented space so that it just doesn't sit in my head and float around in there and cause damage. And so, yeah, day 17. It's just another day, another round in it. Tonight, I guess, Brandon and I we're going to talk about patience. Delayed gratitude or gratification, delayed gratification. And just kind of what that means and just kind of explore it a little bit. But before we dive into that, if you've kind of been following along, we'll do our little format here. We'll do some gratitude, kind of explore some of that, see if it does anything for us, and then do a quick mantra, and then we'll dive into the topic. Real quick, Brandon, how you feeling? What's up, brother? What's going on?
I'm feeling good, happy
Okay.
to be here, happy to be alive. And
Yes.
yeah, no, it's feeling good. I'm excited to dive into this, no pun intended.
Um, you can intend the pun. That's fine.
I mean, it was slightly intended.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Yeah, because you always do those. Knowing you,
Yeah, throw it in
you
there, man. You
you
guys
go for
slip it
them.
on in. Yeah, nightly I do it, one might say.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
All
Okay.
right, last one, I
Okay.
promise.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We know it's not. Cool. Okay. Yeah, let's dive in. I don't see anyone in the chats. I don't see anyone hanging out, so it's all good. Let's do some gratitude. Do you have anything you want to go first? Do you have anything pressing on your mind? I'm happy to say something if you don't got anything
Go
on your
ahead.
mind.
Yeah, go ahead if you got some.
Um, I've kind of been on this kick of like, but so a couple days ago the weather got real nice, and today it's been blazing hot and humid, and tomorrow it's gonna be like actually 100 degrees and humid. So, the 2 or 3 days before today, I'd been in this gratitude kick of really just being grateful for the weather. But now that it's gonna be really hot, I don't know that I can do that. But before that I'd been in this kick of just like really, really being grateful for like the basic necessities, and like just the really just the quality of life that I have compared to my ancestors is just so much nicer. And just being able to turn just like a faucet and water comes on, like that idea has and flush a toilet at any, like, come on, like that is, I'm just really grateful to kind of all that. And so just, I don't know, just like reiterating that, and just like I'm just noticing it more in my daily life now. And just, I don't know, I'm just really kind of vibing with that. So I'm gonna roll with that. Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you?
I can kind of add on top of that a little bit. I think that
Sure.
while you were saying that, I was kind of reflecting on grateful, like gratefulness and things I'm grateful for, and I think what we can always lean on is like, oh, I'm grateful for the people around me, and I'm grateful for all of the people that I have in my life, and that's kind of stuff that we lean on a lot because I mean like there are support systems that we have that we can be grateful for, and the
Yeah.
people that you have surrounding you like people that you're like your wife and your kid. I mean, I'm sure you're grateful for those people, but
Yeah.
lately, the last couple of weeks, I feel like I've been kind of turning that in the opposite direction, and I feel like in kind of a weird. I don't mean it to be like self-centered or anything, but I'm grateful for myself.
Dude,
Um,
love it.
I think that we live in a time now where we now value like mental health and we
Yeah.
value like inner peace, and that's why we're doing this right now. Literally, is
Yeah.
for inner peace, and I think I've really reflected on that in the last, specifically like the last week or two. I've really reflected on like really just like loving myself and being okay with myself and in my
Love it.
thoughts. And I think that I'm grateful for the fact that we live in an age and a day where we have resources that can help us do that, and we have things that we can do in order to ensure that we have good mental health. And I think that that's super important. It's something I'm grateful for, and it's something that I work on every day. So
Man, beautiful, beautiful. Wow, well said, well said. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all those points, man. Yeah, exactly like that. All resonating with me too. Yeah. So that's awesome, man. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna shift into a quick mantra, and then we'll get into the topic. But yeah, I'm just gonna say real quick. You know, I'm trying to do things that I haven't really done in the past. I mentally had a shift, and I just have a different sense of things now. And the things I'm trying to do are difficult and they're hard, and it's challenging. Dude, it's hard to be like consistent. I've noticed it's hard to be like disciplined and do things every single day. Like that's a challenge, man. And this little mantra, I guess, just kind of gives it the air that it needs for me, kind of the respect that it needs, so that I can almost take a step back and say, man, I've done some difficult shit, and I know that this is still hard and it's still difficult, so I'm just gonna keep going. So, yeah, let's dive into the topic. Let's dive into the topic before we go like down too many rabbit holes here. So yeah, we were kind of talking about it a little off screen here beforehand, but yeah, patience. Do you want to take the reins here for a sec? Talk to me about what you're kind of feeling and thinking here.
yeah, so yeah, like you mentioned, we kind of off screen, we're kind of just talking to each other, and I was really, I mean, you posed the question of like what's been on your mind lately, and
Yeah.
I think that patience is something that I've never really had in my life. I feel like
Interesting.
I get a really good idea and I run with it for like 7 or 8 months, and then I just stop with that idea, or like
Interesting.
whether it's a year or something. And I think that like the term that you mentioned, delayed gratification, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty spot on in terms of like you have to be okay with like good things take time. And I mean, I've got so many examples of that in my life now, that like you kind of set things in motion, and then you trust that if you keep diligently working towards those things, whether it be professional, whether it be like fun, whether it be relationships, whatever, like
Yeah.
you set in motion things that you really want, and then you let them grow, and you just, yeah, you have to let them blossom.
Well.
I think one thing, what's up?
I was just gonna ask. In your mind, what is a timeline for for patience? Like, hearing you say that you don't think you have patience, knowing that you've been consistent in golf for so long, is
Well, I think I'm gonna kind of rebuttal to you like almost
yeah.
immediately and say that I think my problem that I had beforehand was I thought there was a timeline. Um, and I
Interesting.
think the answer to that question is I don't think that there is. I think that um,
Mm.
like as soon as you start placing timelines on things is when you start
Yo.
having expectations of when they're going to work out. And that means that you know when they're going to work out, and sometimes you don't.
Wild.
And I'm not. This isn't an original idea for me. This is actually my boss at work told me this. So
Interesting.
I work for Nike.
Uh-huh.
For anybody out there that wants to know.
Nike.
And Nike. And so I remember when I first took the job, I immediately was like, I want to be in this company. I need to shoot for the top. I'm gonna take this job, and then in 6 months I'm gonna go to this job. And then in 6 months I'll climb the ladder and go to this job. And my boss she had to sit me down after, like I moved up the ladder pretty quickly in this company, and obviously I still have a lot to go. But um, I remember my boss and I, we have touch bases, which is like a one-on-one meeting. We have them once a month, and it's just talking about like development and whatnot. And um, there was one time I was asking her, I was like, so like when should I start thinking about the next step? And she said, like, one thing that I need to focus on is like being in the here and the now. And like you can't always be thinking about the next step. Sometimes you can obviously plan for your life, but you don't get any benefit out of living in the future. You have to live now.
Yeah.
And you grow now and grow in your current position, and then you look forward when you're ready, or when you feel like you're ready for the next step, or when you give it a little bit of time. And I kept asking for timelines. I was like, what, how long should I do that for? How long should I plan on doing this? And she finally was like, Brandon, there is no like you can't place a timeline on personal growth. Like you have to just
Interesting.
trust the process, and you have to trust that it's going to work out. If you keep pouring resources and energy and time into it, it's going to work out.
Interesting.
And everybody's timeline is different, so like you can't just like define a timeline.
Yeah.
And so I think that
Interesting.
that's kind of my like long-winded answer of the fact that like when you ask me what the timeline is, I said like I don't know that there is a timeline, and I don't know that there should be a timeline. I think that it should just be you constantly trying to get a certain percentage better every day at something, or a certain percentage more enlightened, or a certain percentage more like focused, or
Sure.
whatever it may be that you're working towards. I think that it's important to just grow incrementally towards your goal rather than take giant leaps forward. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So like, so if you start something, and you mentioned this, like you're like, man, so I'll start something, and then 6-8 months later I'm quitting or whatever, whatever it is. So do you balance? Because in my head I'm thinking like, okay, I just got to this point where I'm like, I have to set like a goal or something so that I can do something, because I'm in the mindset now of like, if I just almost like this challenge, like I started to feel myself not do them anymore because I didn't have like a goal or have like something set up for me to where it's like I'm gonna be doing this now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Duolingo, like I'm at 125 days now of a streak of doing that. But if I didn't have like some kind of like goal or some kind of something set in mind, I don't feel like I would. At this point in my life, I don't feel like I would really do something for the most part. Maybe I would, but do you kind of feel my question is like, do you have like a balance between like setting a goal and like putting yourself like in like I gotta be at this point by this time, and like also like, well, maybe I'm just gonna just focus on 1% a day and just focus on that.
Right. And I think that like obviously I think goal setting is like some of the best stuff that you can do. Like setting goals. And I think inherently that does require a timeline, but I think it's different than you saying like, I want to learn Spanish in a year, like
Yeah.
what you're setting goals, meaning like, okay, I'm going to set a goal. Like obviously your end goal is to learn Spanish, but along the way you're setting goals of, I'm going to be diligent in Duolingo. I'm going to do this. I'm going to set like consistent like roadmap goals so that you can get to the future end goal of you learn Spanish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you hear that?
Uh-uh.
I am really sorry. I might have to end this stream.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My daughter is Phoebe is. You can't hear her? Yeah, she's screaming, and Rye just came
Oh, jeez.
Rye just came in. She just opened the door and was like, "Yo."
Yeah, that's good.
I feel bad.
No, dude, you're good. Let's pick it up where we left off another time.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm really sorry, man.
Dude, you're good. Dude, duty calls, man. Duty calls. Got to be
like I was saying, dude. Like I was saying before, dude. Like you can't set like a schedule or anything if you have a kid, because you just the world, our lives do not belong to us.
Right.
Okay, man. I'm sorry. Thanks for hanging out for a sec. Thanks for everyone who's here. I'm really sorry. Say love you, but much love to you guys. I'm gonna go take care of my kid. Thank you. See you guys.
All right, dude.